Hello and welcome to Tropical Plants at 53 degrees north. Now, this is my fairly new greenhouse. I've had it since March 2019 and this is a little experiment to see whether people find this interesting or whether it just really documents what I'm going to be doing with my greenhouse over the coming months, coming years. The channel is called Tropical Plants at 53 degrees north. So that's, I added the north on the end because that's not 53 degrees Celsius, centigrade, Fahrenheit. That is the latitude of where I live in the UK, and the idea behind it is that I will attempt to grow tropical plants inside my greenhouse, and hopefully these videos will chronicle my journey along the way. I'm certainly not an expert. I've been gardening for many years, 20 odd years, but as far as tropical plants goes, this is fairly new for me. The only criteria for the plants in here are that they must not survive at 0 degrees Celsius. So most of these plants, the vast majority of these plants, come from sunnier, warm climes, and hopefully through the dull, dour, miserable winter English months, we will be able to see if we can get them to not only survive but to thrive. So I will show you around at some point. I don't want to do it all at once, but I'll do little bits. I just wanted this to be an introduction, just so you know what you're getting into. I'm certainly not an expert in growing tropical plants, so what kind of plants am I going to be growing? Well, okay, orchids, lots of orchids. I've been inspired by some of the fabulous channels out there. I'll do a few name drops: Roger's Orchids, Brad's Greenhouse and Gardening, Super Channel, the now defunct Oliver's Orchids, although I'll be very thrilled to see him make a comeback, Rick L Orchids, Todd's Tropicals, Todd's Topicals, and Ed's Orchids as well. There's another local guy who's doing very well with his. So how is mine different? Well, it's different because it's me and it's nobody else. So I will bring my unique experience to it, my personality, and for what that's worth, and the expertise that I bring is based on my own experience. So I'm certainly not an expert. Orchids I've been growing for just over a year, so I'm certainly not an expert in those. So I will hopefully, learn along the way, as maybe some viewers might do. Carnivorous plants is something that I find really cool, so I'm going to try those too. And so this is the very first winter that I'm going to attempt to take these plants through and see if we can get them to keep growing and to not die, basically. So any feedback from any of the more expert people out there, I'd be more than happy to take on board. Okay, so that's a little intro. So I'm just going to do a very brief look around the greenhouse, that you can have a quick look to see what's in here. There's plants coming all the time. And then we'll start to go through, as the videos progress, the various things that happen, and we will document what goes on a day-to-day basis, and let's see if we can all learn along the way. So hopefully you'll enjoy the journey as much as I hopefully will. Alright, so as we come in through the double doors, you might have noticed that the temperature was currently about 9 degrees. It has been a little bit colder. We're on the 2nd of November 2019, and this is my comparatively large greenhouse. I did have a 6x8, that's the most common one I think in the UK, and I saved my pennies for a good 12 months to buy this one. This one is a 14 by 10 foot greenhouse. and it's certainly not full yet, but there's things coming in all the time and things are growing, of course. So I'm not going to mention where all these plants are, we'll go through that at some point, but let's just give you a very, very brief look around to see what's going on, see what's in bloom, what's still very young. But all of these plants, I suppose you would call them house plants if you live in the UK. There's quite a lot. I'm very surprised there's quite a lot in bloom at this time of year. I am heating the greenhouse, obviously. The temperatures at this time of year very, very frequently get down to 0 and below, not 0 Celsius. And of course the big concern is the cost. So I've got it very well bubble wrapped and insulated with this super duper extra thick triple layered bubble wrap off eBay, which was surprisingly one of the cheaper ones. This one in the corner, just superb. Look at those flowers, brilliant. Some lovely pictures there. One of my nepenthes, a few mounts. I'm hoping to fill this back wall at some point. There's the logo, a very hastily arranged logo on the channel. I'm not planning on doing much editing at all. This is going to be very, very rough and ready, and let's see if it gets any traction or any interest. It might do, it might not. If it doesn't, then it'll just serve as my own little record. If it does, great, we'll see. I'm going to have lots of things hanging from up there. I've got all sorts of plans for this place, and it should certainly keep me occupied through the winter months. So that's it really, that's a very brief look, and we'll start to dig into some of the interesting topics that I've got planned over the coming days and weeks. And if anybody's got anything to offer, if anybody's actually found the channel yet, then please do let me know what you think, and what would you like to know about, what would you like to look at more closely, what would you like to ask me, if anything, and I'll do my best to answer, and if I don't know the answer, I'm sure somebody else will. And that's it for now. So there we go, the inaugural, it's so inaugural I can hardly even remember the channel name, the inaugural video to tropical plants at 53 degrees north, and hopefully you'll come along with me on the journey, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.